Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. We all know the din that when you damage or you hurt, make a financial loss to somebody else, you have to pay him for whatever you did. Now that is called typically a mazik biyadayim. Intentionally, you do something to somebody else's property, somebody else's belongings. You shouldn't be doing that. The person has a loss. You have to make up the person's loss. The question is, if you did not do a direct damage, what halacha would call a gram, a ricochet effect, an indirect thing, something that you did caused a damage. You did not actually make the damage happen. You caused it indirectly a damage. Let me give you an example. The example is mentioned in Shulchan Aruch and Choshen Mishpat, Siman Shin Pei Vav, Seif Gimel. The Mechaber says, Hazoyre kli mereisha gag. Let's describe it. Somebody's moving, and he lives high up into the second or third floor. So instead of carrying it down the steps, his stuff, he's throwing them out of the window. Now, what's he crazy? No, he's throwing it out of the window, but because he left some mattresses on the ground over there, that the items that he throws out won't break. It's going to fall on the mattress or whatever it is, and it'll protect it from breaking. It'll minimize his schlep. He put pillows, blankets. So somebody walks on the street. V'kadam achar v'silkon. Somebody walks outside, moves away the pillows, moves away the blankets, moves away the mattress. And guess what? The next box the person throws out of the window, it falls down. It falls on the ground. It breaks. Says the Mechaber, Chayev HaMasalik. The person who moved away the protection is obligated to pay. Now, he did not take the item, physically break it. What he did, he just removed the protection from saving it. According to the Mechaber, that would be considered a direct hit, and you have to pay. Comes the Ramah, and the Ramah says, V'yesharmim, there are others that say, Tezeh mikri grama b'nezikin. That this is not called a direct damage. This is called an indirect, a gram. Obviously, somebody's going to be losing money here, but you did not physically break the item. You just did something that caused the item to be broken. Upatur, and halachically, a person doing an indirect type of damage is patur. And he brings many other examples where there is an indirect damage, where you take a coin and you scratch it so it lost its value, but the coin is here, the whole coin, it just has an indirect value. And we have many other situations where somebody burns a document. Without the document, you have no proof to collect money. That's also, what you did wasn't a tremendous damage. The paper is not worth anything, but what the paper could get for you is very valuable. So those are all discussions of gram. The Ramah says that many of these cases are under the category of gram, and your patur, obviously, if your conscience shouldn't allow this to happen, and if you did, we want to pay. But me'ikar adin, the dry letter of the law, your patur. I'm quoting this halacha because I saw an interesting discussion in one of the Batei Dinim. They brought a shaila. The Batei Dinim today. What's the shaila? A lot of places you go to. Let's go on you go on in a taxi, or you go on a bus, or you even go to a chasna hall, and you sit down in a chair. You sat down in a chair, and guess what? Your pants are all dirty. What from? From chocolate. The person sitting there before was a child. The father didn't watch the child that much. And the child was left chocolate melting on the chair. And he left. Nobody took care of it. And now the next person sitting on the chair has to pay a cleaner's bill. Or as I saw this discussion, I'm thinking it gets even better than a cleaner's bill. Let's say there's nails sticking out, and the nail causes the pants to rip, and now it's an expensive pair of pants. Could you charge the bus driver or the owner of the bus company or the hall, the owners of the hall, to pay for the cleaners or pay for the tailoring or whatever it is? And they connect it to this halacha. this Bezdin says, hold on. A child is anyways never, for his actions, you can't demand the child to pay. The father, not always, is responsible for little children's actions. So he's off the hook. However, maybe the owner of the bus driver, the owner of the bus company or the hall. However, they use this halacha to say nobody took the pair of pants and made it dirty. Nobody took the pants and made a hole into it. There was schmutz on the thing. The schmutz indirectly caused the damage. That would be a gram. However, the Ramah goes on to say, there's a shita of the Ritzbah who goes on to say, slow down, I can't accept every indirect damage, gram, as a license or your putter. If it's a gram that's shchiach, which is very common, then you have to stop it, even though it's a gram, even though it's indirect. How would you look at this situation? And what would be the psak din? So this Bezdin writes that since most of the people, that when they go into a bus, and they go into a rented car or whatever, or they go into a hole, they figure they're getting a clean chair, they're not going to get damaged or ruined, their clothing is not going to get damaged and ruined, the owners of the bus company or the owners of the hall would be responsible to pay, because even though it's gram, but it's a gram hashchiach. Now, that's questionable, because it doesn't happen that often that people get hurt or damaged with chocolate or schmutz on the chair. It happens very seldom, so I don't know how they came to that conclusion. From the flip side is, why would a person be sitting down in a chair, just like I, the owner of the hotel, has a responsibility to provide clean chairs? You have a responsibility as a mensch to sit down before you sit in a chair, give a look. So it's not like you're off the hook completely. So they come to this conclusion. If you're coming to Bezdin, perhaps Bezdin will not have enough evidence or enough right to say, okay, they have to pay for it. Because as mentioned, it's only gram, and it's not even a gram hashchiach. However, if you have some of the bus company's money, the taxi's money, or the whole money that you still have to pay, because the money is still in your possession, you might be able to withhold some of that money to make up your loss. But to take out money from somebody else, as we know the rule of a Meitzi Mechaverei, there is not enough strong evidence for him to pay. You may withhold some of the money of the payment. Obviously, the best would be that somehow they should come to a pshara, a compromise, and Ish al Mekayma Yavi B'Shalom.